Get ready for Shorthand English Senior General Passage number 2, converted from Karnataka Government Technical Examinations, November 1979. Get ready. Start. Ladies and gentlemen, the previous plans attempted to reduce unemployment in the country through large-scale investment both in industrial and in agricultural sectors. All this investment could not generate sufficient number of jobs to absorb the fast increasing labor force in the country. Therefore, employment-oriented schemes were introduced under which small and marginal farmers and agricultural laborers were given assistance to get themselves self-employed. All these schemes put together covered only a small percentage of the unemployment problem. Consequently, when our popular government assumed power at the center, the greatest problem it noticed was the unemployment problem. We have to face this problem at all levels with all the energies and the resources at our command in this regard. Therefore, immediate measures were called for to relieve the sufferings of the unemployed and the poor. In this context, a special scheme introduced immediately after this government assumed power is notable. The local body in every village is asked to identify the 5 poorest families among the poor, and these families were given necessary assistance, both financial and in kind, to engage in economic activity which will earn them a minimum living. Though this scheme is confined to only the 5 poorest families in a village, it will go a long way when all the villages are covered to reduce almost 70% of the absolute poverty in the country. The success of this scheme has attracted the attention of several other North Indian state governments which have adopted the scheme. The merit of this scheme is that it not only provides employment to the poor but also helps them to stand on their own legs after the initial period of assistance. This means it not only ensures social justice but also provides economic stability for the poorest. This scheme has attracted worldwide attention. The President of the World Bank specially visited this state to see for himself the operation of the scheme. He has advised the bank experts to think in terms of suggesting and financing such valuable schemes for the other countries. The Karnataka government has been implementing certain social welfare schemes. Most of them are in the form of providing scholarships to the students of backward classes, providing house sites to the landless laborers, houses to the low-income groups, cultivating rights to old persons. But all these have not gone a long way in relieving poverty because the amount spent on them has been too meager and even that missed the target groups. In fact, it has been estimated that nearly 50% of the people in the state were below the absolute poverty line. Last year, the state government introduced the Employment Guarantee Scheme for the educated unemployed on payment of a fixed lump sum amount. The unemployed graduates and diploma holders were to be given 200 rupees per month as stipend, and their services were to be utilized in various developmental activities. But how many of these persons have benefited from this scheme is yet to be known. The progress of this scheme has never been properly assessed and reported to the public. This suggests that it was only a propaganda scheme. Last year, At the time of presenting the budget, the finance minister announced that the state government was thinking of introducing suitable employment schemes for the unskilled manual laborers in the rural areas. But the details of the scheme were released after a lapse of 8 months in November in a hurried manner to counter arguments of the opposition parties. Thank you. Dear sirs, we are in receipt of your letter of 21st April enquiring the terms and conditions for our sole agency. In reply, we would like to make the following offer to you as our sole agents in your town. On all cash transactions, we would allow you 20% commission, and on running accounts, it would be 10%. Of course, if an account be paid within 30 days from the date of transaction, we may be able to allow a commission, say, at the rate of 15%, but after the expiry of that time, it would not be possible for us to allow you more than 10%. All goods will be sent direct to you in cases, and it should be checked up with our invoices. If you find that any mistakes have been committed as to the quantity or the quality of the materials received by you, kindly let us know as early as you possibly can. On receiving your complaint, we shall at once dispatch duplicate goods to you and take up the matter with our packers. The empty cases must be returned to us as early as possible, which can be put to constant use. Please send these cases carriage paid. In case the above details are not sufficient, please let us know immediately. Hoping to hear that you have decided to accept the agency. Yours faithfully, Manager. Stop.